What's up, guys? Knows Books back today with another video. It's been a little bit, guys. I've been busy with work and life and a whole bunch of stuff, but I have been reading, of course. And we are talking about book 5 of the Sun Eater Saga, Ashes of Man. So, spoiler-free thoughts. This book basically picks up right where Kingdoms of Death left off. Hadrian feels very down. But the job's not finished. And basically, they try and do what is thought of as one last job. I hate to break it to people. There are 2 more books in the series. This is not the last job. Overall, to get the spoiler-free stuff out of the way, I think that this book is probably the weakest of the newer 3. So I say the newer 3 is in Demon in White, Kingdoms of Death, and then Ashes of Man. I think is significantly the worst of the 3. I do not think it's even relatively close. You could make an argument it is the second worst book so far, which you could make that argument, to be honest. I think the plot of this book meanders a little bit. I think the characters are good, but we're gonna need, in the second half of this video, post, my like reaction videos and everything, we're gonna have to have some conversations about this, this series and this book. I think that the journey we are going on, I have questions of what we can really do next, but I'm very curious still, and I'm still enjoying the series, but if I had to rate this book, it's probably at a 4 to maybe a 3.75. Highest is 4.25. I think it's a good book. I will never deny that. I do not think this is a bad book in any way, shape, or form. And I think its ending is solid. I think we meander a little bit to get there, and I think that I have certain questions. So I know for those of you that are spoiler free, which will probably be none of you, because again, it's book 5. Read the book. But now, Past Emster is going to tell you all about his thoughts. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we're out.
We're back. The Ashes of Man. Alright. This one's on a slower start. So I am about 130 pages in. We just basically got back to the Emperor. We had our little talk. Guys, this feels like the recoup book. It feels like, okay, Hadrian, let's lock back in. Get back to what we know, which is kicking ass, taking names. Olivier or Oliver or whatever, I think he's cool, and I hope that they continue whatever this relationship is. It's so interesting seeing Hadrian just so broken in the conversation he had with Lauren, and that whole like, everyone's gone but I saved you. Oh. And then Velka giving the story about how they even got to the planet in the first place. Oh. At first I was like, okay, this started off kind of slow, but the more I got away from it in the first 14 chapters, this shit's cooking, fellas. We're back. Ashes of Man. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm so excited to get back into it tomorrow. So, until then, peace.
All right, guys. So, I am up to and through chapter 26 of Ashes of Man, and every dialogue with the Emperor has just been so good. So we got our mission. We get to the deserted fortress or whatever. And then, bro, this bitch that caused Velka all these problems shows back up with this disease that can fucking wipe out humankind. Now I'm like, fuck. Well, bro. So I am
really enjoying this book. Bro, they just got Valka, bro. I don't think she's making it, bro. Because at one point, Hadrian goes, but did Valka have her suit on when the explosion happened? And I went, oh no. Because the virus is airborne. It's really interesting. I will say this too. It's really interesting, the concept of that this like group or whatever that when they die they can transfer their consciousness through like wires and I think that's really fucking cool. Fuck. I'm genuinely really enjoying this book. I can kind of see how they put this, because I have heard like Chris wanted it all as one book. But man, the Emperor stuff has been really good. Hadrian's internal struggle and now external has been great. The book's cooking, fellas. I'm assuming like 50% through. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Not Velka, bro. It sucks because you knew it was going to happen. It was just so obvious. And I've been, seeing the red flags since the beginning. But she wanted her last words to be, I love you. And she couldn't even. I haven't finished the book. You'll get another vlog when I do. Well, Ashes of Man is done. Well, it's very interesting. Hadrian said, I'm done. I told the Emperor, we're through. And now he's going to Jihad. And I guess he's technically free. But we have 2 books, and he's supposed to murder a son still. So, something tells me we're going to end up back with the Emperor. But if not, I got a lot of respect for him, man. And the Emperor's a real one, for the most part. The book is pretty fucking good. Sad. Tough. A little oddly bloated. But good. Now back to Future Emster.
And we're back. So, personally, I am at a bit of a loss here. So Valka died. And for those of you in the Discords and everything, you all know I've had this thought for a long time. The second that Hadrian got a Anakin Skywalker parallel, I knew that we had to have a Padme. And that was very clearly Valka. I think that the character work in this series bothers me because I feel a lot of wasted potential. What I mean by that is, so far, Bassander Lin, since Howling Dark, has been basically sidelined to nothing. When I really stop and think about the Emperor, while he does have really cool dialogue and there are cool moments, I don't see this best character in the series angle a lot of people are going for, to be 100% honest. And also, Hadrian, the glaze was fucking diabolical. Dude, oh my God. He's the last, he really is humanity. He really is, I'm like, bro. Come the fuck on. Like, do I think the Emperor is a decent ruler, a good ruler? Sure. And I think he's still an interesting character. And I think it's a smart idea by Rockio not to make the Emperor a stereotypical baddie or a dumbass or whatever. But I also don't really think that he's this, like, S-tier character of this series. I'm taking Hadrian. I'm taking Valka. I could have taken Bassander Lin, but he's wasted, so I don't really know what we're doing. To me, it's those 2 and S. Right now. I'm thinking off the top of my head. You could include, like, Polino or something if you want to do that, too. but I don't think that the Emperor is S. He's an A. So he's still like a top tier for this series, but like I don't personally think he would be close to a favorite for me. But let's get into the awards. And then we can get into sort of my bigger overall gripes. The MVP of this book is Hadrian. It's not really a surprise. I think he kind of has to be at this point. The Rookie of the Year is Lorien. I actually enjoy Lorien quite a lot. I think the ending of this book is going to say something. While he's Rookie of the Year, I don't know if we're getting a sophomore season from him. The momentum changer of this book was the last third. By the time we get to the planet, which his name is escaping me, and we're with the Emperor there, and we're doing all this stuff, I am in. I think some of the stuff to get there was a little and I feel like we were kind of all over the place. But that last third was really good. Sixth Man of the Year is Alexander. This is my hot take. I think Alexander is a more interesting / better character than the Emperor. I think the idea of him and what he can become and his potential is incredible. Now, I will genuinely be very upset if Alexander has a very limited to no role in these next 2 books. I think that will be a massive wasted opportunity or lost opportunity on Rocchio's part. That's just me. Inducted into the Hall of Fame, Valka. You are a GOAT. You are the Michael Jordan of this series. Hadrian is the second best character. I don't care. Debate a wall. I'm taking Valka. Valka in 5. Because, he'll get 1 game off that, that space timey-wimey bullshit. But otherwise, that's big Valka. And then, the Why the Fuck Are You Here award. And it's going to be with this American disease and all this horse shit that felt like, honestly, I'm sure in future books it could become a bigger thing, so I will not deny that. But it felt like Rocchio went, fuck, I got made to make a second book, so I have to introduce something. But at the same time, I don't think that this would work as one giant book, because the narrative arc of what Hadrian goes through would be so repetitive. Because the book would start off, Hadrian is we're going off the Demon in White high, right? Then we get captured, kidnapped, hit fucking rock bottom. Then we're starting to try and climb our way out. And then go rock bottom again. And I get it. That's kind of the point. He's kicked and he's down and he's down. He's down. But I don't feel like that would work in one novel. And that's just me. I don't think that would be worth it for 800, 400, 700 pages. And I hope that Sirianni returns, because if Sirianni does not return, I'm actually going to be very upset. That dude, he's also better than the Emperor, by the way. Sirianni absolutely fucking clears. I think that this series is making me ask some questions, because he does realistic sci-fi, and I actually applaud him for that attention to detail. But then where's the attention to detail for the characters? So what I mean by that is, we're all humans. Unless some of you are aliens from the future, in which case, holy shit, what are you doing clicking on this video? But we all change drastically in such short amount of time. Like, think about this, guys. Like, some of you can have a drastic opinion change in the course of a fucking month. And that could change how you approach life, or how you approach or a facet of your life. Hundreds of thousands of years have passed in the Sun Eater world. And the vast majority of these characters who are not in Fugue act the exact same before Hadrian or before whoever went in the Fugue. That makes no sense. I think Rocchio had a really cool opportunity to show, like, going in Fugue not only has its pros of, like, obviously, like, the person going in it isn't aging, but it has its cons of the world is going to pass you by, that people are going to change and age and be different from when you left them. But I don't feel like we ever really explore that. The Emperor feels like basically kind of the same dude. Alexander's grown up, but we don't really get a lot of time with them. The members of the crew that alternate kind of the same people. It just feels like everything becomes so static, even though so much time is flowing. And I don't think that that's a positive for this series, that its side characters at times are lackluster and they are kind of forgettable and they are kind of like, wait, who is that? That's just me. And I've heard that that's a complaint of the series as a whole. But I do want to make it clear to you guys, I go into these books and these series for the first time relatively blind, unless something is so like, I don't know, it reaches a pop culture level of discourse. So like, I don't know. I don't even have like a great example, but like if something was so crazy or horrible or great, that's like you need to hear about that. You hear about this. I don't know about it. I do think that Rocchio's a very good writer, but I do think that the flaws in his game are becoming more and more apparent the more and more I read. And I know this all sounds very negative, but again, I still love the journey Hadrian goes on. I do like that Hadrian is like not all the way up, but I also feel like this series throughout its books feel like each book has become a major course correction to the one behind it and the responses to the one behind it. I'll say excluding Howling Dark to Empire Silence just because of how much time passed, period. Right? From when, Rocchio wrote that book to when he wrote this. Like that's a whole different ball game. But every other book, it feels like, okay, Howling Dark to Ashes of Man is, I need more action. So he goes, boom. Blockbuster, space opera, intrigue, here you go. Then it went, well, I feel like Hadrian now is just OP. Boom. Gets absolutely crapped on for the next book. And then it's just like, I guess the next two books, because he wanted this to be one book. So it's like, boom, these next two books come out and this dude's in fucking hell. My personal theory on one thing, though, I think the Emperor let Hadrian escape. I think he publicly had to be like, yeah, you're done for, beating the shit out of me. But I think personally and whatever, and again, I think that would be really powerful. It is revealed that way, that the Emperor understood what he might have cost Hadrian in the love of his life. But I think when Lorien broke them out, I think the Emperor going, oh no, you're getting away. What can I do? Don't leave while I'm looking this way. It's like, because unless, and that's another thing about me with this book. The contradictory feelings and showings from the Emperor on some of this stuff was kind of crazy. Now, publicly, I can understand it. Like, you have to keep up an appearance. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about every other book, basically, from Demon and White, I believe, or maybe it was Kingdoms, one of the two. From that book on, the Emperor goes, I believe you, homie. I'm not going to lie to you. My advisors are kind of fucking tripping. I believe you. So when Hadrian goes, they know where you're going, and you go, nah, they don't know. I'm okay. They ain't got nothing. Come the fuck on. Like, it just feels like at times with this series, we get to a point of like a branch and we go, well, this is just more necessary for the plot, so we have to go this way. And to me personally, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would the Emperor keep saying, oh, I'm good. But then the next thing, I believe you, Hadrian. I know you know these people better than I do. Okay then, sir, don't go here. Nah, it's okay though. What? That would be like, you know what, man? I respect your book opinion. Give me a book. Oh, I don't know. You can read this. I go, nah. You read that? Nah. What's been the point then? I don't know. That stuff to me was a little irritating. But again, I love the journey Hadrian went on, and I loved Valka, so losing her was hard. But I mean, I think the only other problem was Valka's death was so overplayed throughout the last 2 to 3 books that when it did happen, it still hurt, as you saw in my reaction, but I don't think it would have hit nearly as hard. Like, thinking of Kingdoms of Death of like, oh my God, is Valka dead? Or like Demon and White of like, oh my God, I've lost her. Like, I did all this and I still lost. Like, he played the card so often and pulled the rug out. And sometimes doing that works fantastic. Like, because again, that is a good literary technique at times. But other times it's like, guys, we're dragging it. And then she's doing the whole, I want kids, one last job, I'm never leaving. It's just like, okay, bro. I mean, I already thought she was going to die back in fucking book 2 or 1. But doing this is just like, all right, bro, I get it. I got it. Like, you already gave all the other fucking red flags that she was going to die, but then you add on the, yeah. But that moment was so powerful. And I think I am still extremely curious at what comes next for Hadrian. I know this video comes off a bit negative, guys, but I just wanted to give my honest thoughts. And I think that this book is a good book, but I am nervous, but I am excited still. I am anxiously optimistic for what this next book has in store. So, for those of you who sat through my rambling, thank you all so much. Let me know what you think about this book. Do you agree with some of my criticism so far of the series? Again, this is all within the context of what I have right now. Do you disagree? Do you think this is a lot of Ratho? Do you think that this, just let me know what you guys think. Because I value your opinion. And that's what makes it fun, is talking about books. So, as always, guys, this is Hamster Knows Books. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.